What is Swara's alter ego called? Yeah.
I think Swara's alter ego is called Tras Bhari, because like there's so much like Tras on Twitter and on social media that I go through.
Thank you so much, Swara. How's it going with you? Getting a lot of love and a little bit of criticism for us, Bhari.
Absolutely. I think that it's always great when there is a lot of conversation and a lot of chatter around one's work. And I think that Rasbari is definitely delivered on that front. Everyone is talking about it, whether they like it or don't like it. But the conversation is all about Rasbari. And I think that that's a great place to be. The show is actually doing really well in terms of viewership also, despite the fake IMDb ratings and all that. But I think that I think that the show in itself, there is lots of things to unpack. But I think in terms of what's happening around it also, there's lots of things to unpack. Yeah, so I think all in all, it's great that there's so much, such a wholesome response to it, as you said, there's people who love it, there's haters, there's trolls, and there's people like, I love the conversations that are happening between the audience, like that's the funniest. Just the main you who aapas mein jhagda kar rahe. So that's also great.
Were you anticipating this kind of reaction that's extreme like and extreme dislike?
Yeah, well, honestly, I never anticipate anything because I don't like to predict, and then I never get my expectations high. But I did think that the show would get a lot of, I did think that there would be a lot of talk around it. And I thought that the people who got it would get it. Like they'd get what we're trying to do with it. And I think it's a no-brainer because in the end, there is, of course, the show is about adolescent sexuality. It's about, this kind of unabashed female sexuality. And it's also pointing at the hypocrisy of repressed societies. And I think that there are many aspects in India where we are very repressed about certain things. Sex is one of them. Yes. So, of course, it's a no-brainer कि बहुत सारे ऐसे, वो एक uncle जी mentality होती है ना कि हो जी क्या दिखा दिया और हो अश्लील है, हो ये अश्लील है. And I feel like he's telling those people कि uncle एक भी sex scene नहीं है इस show में. That's the funniest thing that I find, that actually, if you watch the show, there's a couple of kissing scenes and that's it. There's like, everything else is suggestive. There's no, I've seen more in films and in other web shows than there is in Rasbari. But I think that I expected that कुछ लोगों को shock करेगा ये. Shock value इस show का बहुत high है. So that was expected. But I didn't actually expect it to be so polarizing, No, I didn't expect that. It's a fun show. I don't understand what's the big deal.
But do you actually feel we tend to show sexual content in Indian cinema in a relatively traditional way? We're very traditional about how we're portraying sex.
I think we have been so far. I think some of that is changing now because you're seeing a lot of new content coming out and newer kinds of stories are being told. New characters are being written. So I think that that's changing for sure. And I think that actually the audience is becoming, because the audience is now able to consume not just Indian content, but foreign content with equal ease. So I think that there's actually an expansion of the audience's own horizons, and they're actually becoming, they have higher standards now, frankly, than they did earlier. So I think...
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No. And also in a patriarchal setup, basically female sexuality is not allowed to exist or even discussed as such. Don't you think so? That's basically the reason. They are, like we've seen the creatives about sex that go up. Maximum people want to watch it, but you will never see the likes or comments. It's just this hypocrisy, obsession.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that that's exactly what Rasbari is tapping into, that, everyone wants that woman. Everyone is lusting after her. Everyone desires to kind of attain her, but also everyone is vilifying her, and that's the hypocrisy that the show is actually trying to bring out. I think that you're absolutely right in saying that the way in which we consume sex is very hypocritical. We want to see it, but we don't want to give it the dignity of having a conversation about it, for example. And as you said, for accepting that, yeah, it was nice, we liked it. I think that sex is also vilified a lot in India. You know, this idea that sex hai to ashleel hai, nanga hai to ashleel hai. Arey, but how is it shown? The ashleelta doesn't come from just it comes from the intention of the way we depict it, right? And I think that as you said, you're absolutely right, that female sexuality especially makes people very uncomfortable. And I've seen this with Anarkali of Ara, I've seen this with Veere the Wedding, and now I'm seeing the same thing with Rasbhari. You know, that we are okay to consume female sexuality when it's being attacked, when it's being assaulted, when it's as a victim. So we're okay to watch rape scenes. We're okay to watch violence on women. That doesn't make us uncomfortable. Why doesn't that make us uncomfortable? There is a way in which gender violence is fetishized and rape is fetishized and depicted on screen. We never have a problem with that. But we have a problem with a character who's wearing her sexuality on her sleeve and is very unapologetic about it. That we have a problem with. जबकि उसमें कोई sex भी नहीं है. उसमें बस बातें हैं. You know what I mean? So that hypocrisy, I think this whole show is about that, you know, honestly, except that it's done in a very light and fun way.
See, like a woman who, as they say, obsessed with sex or whatever, like the alter ego is called a nymphomaniac. There'll be a man who fantasizes and has an appetite. What is he called? You know, sometimes you wonder. Women are given, you know, titles, but what is a man called?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like we don't have, I mean, the thing is that we don't have, you're right, we don't have an equivalent male gender thing. I don't know. Do we have it for nymphomaniac? I don't know if we do. We don't seem to have an equivalent for, like, you know, the word slut, that she's a slut. We always use that. We don't seem to have an equivalent of that in the male, you know, this thing. So yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely right. And I think that that's precisely why Rasbhari is making so many people uncomfortable, because it's coming from the fact that we have different standards for men and women, and we also have different standards of consumption. What we are okay to consume for men, when it's a man and we're talking about his sexuality and we should depict something like that, it's like, oh, what a star, that wo hero hai, and it's an item number. We're okay to consume that. But when it's a woman who's turning men into, I mean, actually Rasbhari is kind of treating men as objects, right? She's just using them. She just doesn't get, she's kind of that alter ego. I don't know if you've seen the show. She's basically reducing men to what men reduce women to outside.
Yeah. And
that reversal is what is making people so uncomfortable, I feel.
So since your character's alter ego is called Rasbhari, what is Swara's alter ego called? Yeah.
I think Swara's alter ego is called Trasbhari, because like there's so much like Tras on Twitter and on social media that I go through.
I know we're talking about trolls and bullying. You are somebody who has seen it all, you know, has been bullied, trolled. I mean, itna tras. How, I mean, and also these extreme conversations that are happening pertaining to your industry. What would you want to say? There was a nice post you put up about when you asked Karan Johar that Bollywood is not, there's no nepotism, it's feudal. And was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize that I was actually the person who started the fire. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean, I think that there are a lot of difficult conversations that are being had, and I think that's a good thing. Of course, we should discuss we should always discuss what is the flaws of our own industry. And I'm speaking as someone from Bollywood, of our industry. We should be very clear about that. But I think that I would like to say that, you know, I think that it's not helpful to have this conversation by vilifying people. You know, I mean, what is the point of making star kids out to be villains? It's completely, there's no purpose to it, you know, honestly, other than just satisfying your instinct to vent a little bit on social media. I mean, people can't help where they're born. People cannot help being born in a poor family, and they cannot help being born in a rich or privileged family or within the film industry. I mean, there's no control that we have on that. I think what we should aim to do is to make the industry more accessible, like to make getting into it more accessible. And I think that that's happening now with, you know, newer platforms, newer kinds of content, newer opportunities. I mean, you see so many new faces. I'm the only face in Rasbhari, me and I think Neeluji, who's the mother, and Chirantan sir, who's the father. Everyone else is a new face in a show like Rasbhari. And the boy who's playing the character of Nand, Ayushmann Saxena, he's a newbie. And he has the show is about him. He's the protagonist in the show, right? So I think that that's changing. And I would like to say here that, to tell the audience here, that if you want to see more outsiders in films, watch our films in theaters. It's as simple as that. Look, I've been saying this repeatedly. Look at the box office collection of films starring outsiders like Irfan Sir, Karma, Nawaz, that Motichur Ka Laddu, Rajkumar Rao, Trapped, Richa Chadda, Article 375, Swara Bhaskar, Anarkali of Ara, or any such, Sushant, Sonchiriya. Look at the box office collections of those films, and look at the box office collections of Dhadak, of Student of the Year, of Hero Panti. Who is making children stars?
Exactly.
It's the audience. Who's watching these films? We're not going to watch them. The audience is going to watch them. If you want to support outsiders like me, or like Sushant, or like other outsiders, watch our films in theaters. It's as simple as that.
This is so true. And also the entire debate, the thing on mental health was moved away, and it suddenly became a name-calling platform.
I think that we lost Sushant twice. I've written about this somewhere. We didn't just lose him in the deeply tragic demise of his that that happened, but we also lost him in another way, which is that we lost the opportunity to celebrate him. We lost the opportunity to celebrate his achievements. Sushant was not a struggler. Sushant was not a failure. Sushant is an incredible story of success. In 7 years, I've been in the industry for 10 plus years, and I can tell you that Sushant is an incredible story of what he achieved in 7 years. He was sitting on 200 crore plus films. One of them is a 200 crore film, which is Chichore. He has worked with all the big production houses, Dharma, Yash Raj, UTV. He's left a body of work that is absolutely stellar in its range of characters that he's played. He had a huge fan following. He was a craze amongst young girls. Sushant is not a failure. Sushant is a success. We should celebrate his success. We should celebrate the inspiration that he could be for young people, that he is. We should celebrate the iconic status that he had, and we should grieve for him. We should mourn for him. This is not a moment to have a slanging match about our own personal score settling, about the people we don't like in the industry. I think this is not about us. This moment was about Sushant. We didn't even let his death be about him. You know what I mean?
So true. Yeah. And now moving away, I mean, regarding OTT, there was Prasoon Joshi also from the censor board also, who spoke up about Rasbari. Do you feel that, the OTT platform has come as a breath of fresh air for talent and also for content? But do you feel eventually it will become superficial and censored, or do you feel there is still hope?
I hope not. I hope it doesn't get censored, because I really hope that I think that we're seeing, as you said very correctly, more interesting content on OTT, unusual content on OTT, because there's freedom on OTT. It's as simple as that. It's not bound by the pressure of the box office. It's not bound by the pressure of certification. It's not bound by the pressure of bans and, like people burning theaters and all that kind of vigilante violence we've seen in the last few years. So I think that because it's free, it's being able to breathe, and it's being able to churn out interesting content. You may not like it, which is fine, but the fact is that, an overtly sanitized, overtly sterile atmosphere does not produce any life. It doesn't produce any stories. Sanitization kills. That's the purpose of it, right? It erases, it eradicates. That's not how stories can be told. You need that chaos, that little messiness. You need that little, you need human weaknesses. Otherwise, what are our greatest stories but stories of human weakness? You know what I mean? And I'm saying, including the Mahabharata, including the Ramayana, they're all stories that show the frailty of the human being. And that's why they are relatable, and that's why we want to hear them.
Also, do you feel after COVID, the narratives may change, the star system may change, because financially everybody is going through a crunch. There will be pay cuts even in your industry as well. Do you feel that is going to change? The kind of narratives in the star system, star-driven vehicle films.
I think that COVID is going to change our world in ways that we actually do not even yet fathom. I think we don't know exactly what kind of changes are going to come. Of course, we've seen one big change. We've seen where the OTT has come to become the vehicle for premieres and for launches and like huge films going straight to OTT. I mean, I think that किसी ने नहीं सोचा होगा that Akshay Kumar starring films would release straight to direct to digital. You know, or an Amitabh Bachchan starring film would release direct to digital. But it's happening and it's working out and people are watching it. And I think that, so that's only one aspect. And as you said, I mean, we yet have to see how this is going to affect the star system, how this is going to affect paychecks, how this is going to affect budgets of films. I think that we actually don't know about that yet. So I would wait and watch, you know. We don't know how it's going to affect shoots. I mean, how will we shoot? I'm sitting here wondering, when will I shoot next?
So, I mean, shoot next. What's coming up next after the lockdown? Anything in the pipeline or anything you want?
Well, I have two shows releasing this year. So this year is going to fully go in OTT shows for me. I have a show called Flesh, which is coming out very soon. And I have another show, which is a very lighthearted, fun show also, which is again coming out on a premiere platform at the end of the year. And I also have a very interesting short film on same-sex love called Sheer Khurma that's releasing.
Yes.
That's been a lot of buzz about that as well. And so yeah, this year's actually pretty packed in terms of releases, and I'm really excited and glad for that. And then I'm hoping to kind of put my own project on the floors as a producer whenever shoots begin again. But that's why I'm saying that, like, everyone is just waiting and watching. You know, we don't know.
So as a wrap up, just two things. Explain India in one word, and who have you FaceTimed with most other than your family during the lockdown?
India in one word, I would say, is enchanting. And I think the person I FaceTimed with the most are two girlfriends of mine. One is Sonam Kapoor and the other is a friend of mine from college, Sinjini. I think these are the two people I've spoken to the most.
And lastly, what have you discovered about yourself during these 90 days of lockdown? Some discovery, because since everyone's looking within.
That I'm a completely useless person when it comes to the kitchen and managing a household, and that I'm extremely lazy, and that I need to do something about my sleeping pattern and my discipline levels because they are abysmal.
So to all of us who have been trolled, one way how to deal with them.
Do not give a 4-letter word about trolls. They are vermin.
Thank you for saying it the way it is. Thank you so much, Swara. I love
Thanks, Pooja.
Thank you.
Always
Bye.
a pleasure.
Well, bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.